what is yourself? How do you see yourself? What is your experience, human experience? Today's topic on How to Life: knowledge and skills needed to create the life you want. Best experience of life possible. Experience. There is nothing but experience. If you experience yourself as a mostly happy person, your life is happy, the world you live in is mostly happy, and if you experience yourself as a desperate, sad person, your life is sad and desperate, and the world you live in is sad and a desperate place. It all depends on your experience of yourself, on your experience of life, your experience of world. It's all connected, all depends on the experience of self. So what is this human experience? It's obviously not the same as an experience of a human being. What human being experiences is obviously not the same as maybe dog experiences or a tree experiences. It's something different because it's connected with the body-mind. It's connected with this physical contraption that causes this so-called experience. We have this physical contraption, a body that's got its organs. One of its organs is the brain, and the brain, when it sort of performs its function, it creates thoughts. And then that is mind, we think. A brain gets stimulated from the outside, and then it sort of causes some sort of a chemical reactions inside. The neurons inside connect between themselves and cause certain sort of a connections, reactions, and certain sort of a thoughts arise. But it's all mechanical. It's all done according to the software that's already in it. It's nothing to do with so-called us as something different than the body-mind. It's completely mechanical. And what happens to us in this so-called life or this so-called existence, the way we mostly perceive it is that we are just complete slaves to our thoughts, complete slaves to this sort of a brain that functions automatically by its own software, stimulated from the outside, and once it starts running, it just runs, even when there is no stimulants from the outside. And we are chased by it. We live our so-called lives inside it. We are sort of complete slaves. And then we develop all sorts of ridiculous ideas, how there is some free thinking, how we have our own will, and how this and that, and all sorts of nonsense that's a complete illusion. And what we experience, the so-called human experience, is this yo-yo sort of existence that always depends on the workings of our brain, the thoughts that our brain creates, you know what I mean? And this is our existence. It goes up and down and ups and down. It's usually more down than up, but it goes up and down. Whenever it's up, we know it comes down. When it's down, it will probably come up, but it might take a bit longer, and so on and so on and so on, and then hopefully death comes, you know? This is so-called human experience. This is so-called human existence. This is so-called human life and human world as we experience it, always uncertain, always unpredictable, always up and down. Is there anything else? Is there experience that is not conditioned by the body-mind? Is this some sort of a direct experience that instead of going like this, and mostly like this, and then a little bit that, will go like that? On a much higher level and very, very steady. And there is such existence, of course, there is such existence beyond the mind, beyond body-mind. You can connect with this existence beyond body-mind, which is unlimited, which is totally eternal, which is a godlike existence. And you can rest there totally peaceful, totally content, with very, very little or almost no variations whatsoever. Experience an all-time high that cannot change, because the real you, eternal, the real you, limitless, does not start and end, and it's everywhere. So it's something, this direct experience compared to the human body-mind experience is just a complete bliss. And the question is, why? Why are so many people driven by this human body-mind experience and living it as if it's real, instead of trying to achieve this real blissful experience when it's so much more satisfying, to say the least, and it doesn't start and it doesn't end? Why? The only answer is ignorance. Ignorance. It's all about ignorance. Today's world is mostly a very ignorant world. And we as human beings, as individuals, are just very ignorant. And we are not sort of open-minded enough to start contemplating some certain different approaches to life, to what is illusion and what is real, to what is dream and what is reality. Because what do we think is reality is actually a dream. We dream when we're asleep, and then we dream when we are awake, but it's both a dream. And what's actually in between, when we go deeper in and when we connect to this absolute peace and calmness and start developing a real perception, that is something else. Luckily, there are open-minded people, as there always were in the history of humankind, who are going in the right direction, who are going in the direction of a real perception beyond the body-mind, and who can guide you in the right direction. It is not difficult. It just needs a shift in the mindset. It just needs deepening the real experience. And as I always say, you just start with silence, an absolutely simple act of silence. Closing your eyes, keeping your back erect, a quiet spot, no distractions, and just letting the thoughts come and go, paying no attention. After a while, the mind will still. And with more practice, the mind will still easier and quicker. And one day you will just start falling into this true perception, into this calmness, into this total inner balance and peace. So follow me on my channel, How to Life. You can support my channel by the means I state under the channel, under the video. And there is so many people, I state a few names with great YouTube channels also under the video. Your experience of so-called life can be something so more blissful. Try it. Take care. Bye-bye.